Welcome to the FEC Masterminds Podcast.
Let's get it.
The ultimate hub for family entertainment center owners and operators to share ideas, find solutions, and grow your facilities. Real operators, real stories. This is the FEC Masterminds Podcast.
So, Erik, I want to read you something.
Okay, read it to me. I'm all
right,
ears.
This is on my private, personal Facebook page. Are you ready?
Wait a second. Hold on. I'm sorry. You go ahead. I'm sorry.
You okay? Are you all right over there?
I'm just thinking about the fact that this is on your private page.
This is on my personal private.
Well,
I would
what
say
I
private.
think you're going to read to me. I'm shocked that somebody sent this to you.
Well, and this is like I'm a public figure, so my Facebook is open to the public, basically.
Oh, okay, all right.
But I posted a few days ago that the soft opening of Planet Novak Rewind was underway, and people could come visit. And the big grand opening was going to be this past Saturday, which it was. And this came in. Coming from somebody that got fired from Funland, Reclaim Arcade is so much better and has a lot more games. You're not going to last long with limited games and being at the mall, LOL. And so the funny part is I'm like, well, that was kind of rude. And I copied that and sent it to the Planet Novak team, which most of them have worked at Funland like me. And I sent it to them and I said, I don't remember this guy, but I obviously must have fired him from Funland at one point, even though I didn't have a lot to do with the firing at Funland. And then they said, Clint, he's talking about you being fired from Funland. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, well,
ouch.
Puts a spin on things.
Yeah. So basically, I guess he's saying, the guy who got fired from Funland is opening a retro arcade that's not going to be as good as Reclaim. And how do you respond to things like this? Like when you get like this kind of negative stuff that comes at you, and this wasn't at Planet Novak, really. Right. I feel like this was kind of directed directly at me.
Yeah, no, that's a personal cut. I mean, I've gotten reviews where people say,
I am not only racist, but I am also reversed racist. I've got both out there in the world of reviews at Funland. So
wow, yeah, gotten those. I haven't gotten the racist one. I did get the the owner is clueless,
okay,
and has no idea how to run his facility. I've had all kinds of personal attacks. I mean, we've been in business. Oh my God!
I have a family that recorded me telling them they couldn't have their cake in our dining room area, and they proceeded to record me telling them and ruining their child's birthday, and then they took their cake out front and smeared it on our building on the video.
Okay, so I haven't had that. That's wow. That's definitely.
This could be a whole episode.
I was going to say,
are you ready to call in as an owner operator? Are you ready to call in your review? Can you top that? What
was your best experience? I did have somebody threaten to. I've been threatened to been assaulted and things like that. I've had all kinds of things, but. How do you, I guess if you're asking in all seriousness how to respond, which I'm shocked that somebody would put that on, your personal. I realize that we're public figures because, mine is private. My Facebook is private, but I get it because you've got Happily Ever Novak, you've got, the Novak Roadshow, you've got all these things going on, and your business, which is, it's presumptuous, first of all, because you are a partner in this. Mm-hmm. So the person doesn't have the whole picture, and usually it's your first response, your gut response is not the right one.
So I would say I'm actually I feel like I'm pretty good. Like, okay, first of all, if you know me, this kind of thing cuts deep for me. Like, and that's why I could never do politics or anything like that, because it's like every negative comment I get, I curl up into a little ball and cry for like a half hour. But my response was basically positive. Like, you're right. I was fired from Funland. I like to think that, in the 8 years I was there, I made a difference,
Right.
And kind of went over, what things that I had a direct impact on, the go-kart track and things like that. And I also agreed with them with Reclaim Arcade, which is an amazing facility in Fredericksburg. It has, probably 30 or 40 pinball games alone, not just retro, but new. And they do, food and beverage well. You literally walk into a Blockbuster Video, and then you go into a hidden room that brings you back into the arcade. So it's a duplicate their style and feel, and we were never looking to compete with them. So it's like we're just adding on to what we already exist in the mall. We wanted to give a retro, mall arcade feel, and so that's kind of what we were going for. And so I tried to answer it positively. I agreed with him. Yep, you're right. Got fired from Funland. We're not going to be able to beat Reclaim and what they do. And the only thing I guess I'd argue about is, he thinks it's a joke to be in the mall, and I think it's a brilliant idea. Like the mall has been a great partner for us, and the mall that we're in is like 90% occupied, and it's busy. Like they're it's a good mall. So
yeah. Back to what you said about that it will leave you reeling or make you, it affects you for, in a very guttural way and very it's very cutting. Guttural is not the right word I was trying to use, but I mean, it's where it affects you at your core, because you care about, number one is you care about what you're doing. You care about the perception of your business. You care about the people that come to your facility, and you simply you would prefer to not have people not like you or be able to. I think that some people just, if they don't have something nice to say, they don't know how to say anything at all. And that's kind of it's like, let me just cut on this or cut on this and this and that and the other. The brass tacks of it is that you look at somebody like that, or a lot of the folks that have these just really vile things to say about your business, and you say, how many people have you employed? How many businesses have you started? How many people have you gotten first-time jobs for? How many, what type of give back?
What kind of impact have you had on others' lives?
Right. What type of give back have you had? Yeah. What type of give back?
Other than this negative comment that you just said.
Right. Which is fine. It's like, fine, I'll take it. The difference being is that when somebody makes a negative comment to you, or to somebody who really cares about it, is that we'll reflect upon it, and then we'll try to be a better human being or a better business owner or a bit better operator because you've made this comment. You're trying to look at, okay, well, what is it you're trying to peel the onion back, right? And you're trying to look at a little bit deeper into it and try to figure out, well, where is he coming from and what is it? And why is this? And sometimes there is no why. It's just somebody's just angry and wants to just dump on somebody else. Sometimes it's, I had a mother that literally called me. I was working at the park, and for those of you guys that call into the park, if we're really busy, if my front office or my front counter is slammed, the rollover calls go to me, whether it's a customer calling about birthday parties or a group or what have you. So I'm working in the bar, which I have a fantastic view of the upper part of the park, and a lady calls and she says, listen, you got nobody down in the lower part of the park. Well, we had just had a big rainstorm that went through. So we're just getting opened up. Everybody's working on getting the go-kart track kind of straightened away and ready to go. They're drying off the roller coaster cars. They're getting everything cleaned up and ready to roll. It was a huge storm. And they hadn't gotten to the bottom of the hill, what we consider the bottom of the hill, which is where, the tilt, the road runner, the tilt-a-whirl, the tumbleweed coaster, the super slider. We're down here sweeping water off of the slide, and we're just having a terrible time and blah blah blah. And I said, ma'am, we do have people headed down there. There's 3 people headed down there right now, and they were down there for probably about 2 minutes, waiting or what have you, 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. I addressed it. very cordial, very nice. If there's anything else, please give me a call back. Gave her my extension. Said, I'm right inside. We'll be happy to help you out. I'm just serving people at the bar. And she left a scathing review on Facebook about how we don't have any staff at our rides, and this place is terrible, and blah 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 blah. So, perception is reality for people. It is what it is. You can't argue it. I think you handled it with grace, man. If you're asking me, I think that a lot of these comments, you just got to water off a duck's back, man. Just let it roll off a duck's back.
You talked about a thunderstorm and angry guests. I have one that I have to tell too.
Go for it.
We had the White Castle food truck stop by our facility at Funland twice a year, and we would get lines that were half hour long to 4 hours long, and it was just a great time. Loved having the food truck there, and I posted the food truck is making burgers all day long. Stop by Funland, right? And then a big severe thunderstorm came in. And I'm out there as a small business owner, we're not a major park. So we're making the call as it's happening. We're out there looking at the weather, and we're like, okay, yeah, shut everything down, get people into safety, get the, da-da-da. And we're just frantically trying to cover all the machinery outside. It's just starting to downpour. And a manager comes up with a woman with an umbrella, and I'm in the rain, just trying to coordinate everything. And the woman says, are you in charge of social media here? And I said, if you could give me just 5 minutes, we're closing down this stuff to try the severe thunderstorm coming in. I got to make sure my employees are safe first. And she goes, I just need to know if you are in charge of social media here. And I said, sure, yes, I am. And she goes, did you post this post? And I was like, ma'am, I got just give me 5 minutes. We're going to get all the employees in and all the stuff. The people were getting off of the food truck. We're getting them inside. We closed the food truck, and she wouldn't let it go. So I was like, yes, I'm the person who posted this. And she goes, so you're telling me you're making burgers all day, but when I pull in, you close the truck. I'm like, well, we have a severe thunderstorm coming in. We have to get everybody to safety, including you at this point, should be going inside the park, not standing out here with your umbrella. And she was just livid that we closed the food truck due to safety concerns with the thunderstorm. And I had to make free chicken tenders, whatever we could make from the cafe. And I was like, we're probably going to be back open in 20 minutes. This is a quick, moving thing. And but before she even got her chicken tenders, the people were back out in the food truck making the burgers. And she would refuse, to order the burgers. We couldn't give them free burgers because it wasn't our truck. We could give them free chicken tenders. But yeah, we got a bad review because we false advertisement said the truck would be open all day.
Yes.
Severe weather we're in.
Yes. So yes. I think I think that we all have to, handle the customers with grace, right? I think that there's a point where needs to be a little bit of pushback into the reality of what we are in and the safety of the folks that we're working with. And I've had people that come in and they're just livid about different aspects of the business. And I always do what you do. I think that that's the key component is that the psychological side of it is most of them want something to complain about because it's not the burger. It's not the thunderstorm. It's not the rain on the slide. It's something else that is miserable within their own existence, unfortunately. And I'm not trying to be critical or ignorant, but it's something else. This is the straw that breaks the camel's back. Because let me tell you something, a little puddle at the end of the slide isn't something enough to get you so wound up, or waiting an extra 15 minutes for your burger. There's something else. And so it's like, handle them with grace, do it like you did. I think that the way that you handled it, I think there is no better way.
All right.
I don't know. Unless somebody's got some feedback.
So we opened the arcade this past weekend for the big grand opening. It was successful. We had a bunch of people. You'll never
be a Kalahari's.
What?
That's what it feels like, right? You'll never be you'll never. Okay.
It's so funny you said that because a friend of mine who works at corporate Kalahari has been commenting on all of my things I've been posting. So when you said that, I was like, what are you talking about? I'm not trying to compete with Kalahari. Oh, my God. Okay. We've got Brian Hunn from Metropolis Resorts standing by. But first, we now have sponsors for the show, and we got to chat, give them some love. So the Novak Road Show is always on the road, visiting locations all over the U.S., and this is a free service from the Novak Road Show, and it's because of these 7 wonderful sponsors, 2 of which we're going to talk about today. When I worked over at Funland of Fredericksburg, we used Betson for buying our games, and it is a very good experience. Nick was our salesperson there. Nick was also our salesperson at Planet Novak. When we ordered all of our Unis games that we have at the Claw Arcade, we have what was it, 30 something claws there, claw games, and there from Betson. White glove service with all the way from ordering to delivery of the games and even setup. So, and when I say white glove, I mean, we ordered the games, they arrived on time, they show up, they have their team there ready to unload those games, bring them into our location, and then set up all the games. The card readers, we have Amusement Connect card readers, they were mailed to Betson directly, and they put on the card readers, wired them up, and got them all ready to go, and then delivered those games right to our location with everything all set, and then spent 2 days getting our arcade up and running, so all the games were working in perfect and great condition. And, even the small things, like getting rid of all the trash at the end, that's a lot of trash. You got pallets worth of games coming in.
Yes,
and they're all packed full of styrofoam and plastic and all that, and so they take care of it all, and they do it with ease, to the point where all I had to do is point where I wanted things, and they moved them. And if you know me, Eric, because you've helped me unload games, I'll point and say I want it there, and that's not where that game ends, is it?
Yes.
So,
a little bit of patience is needed.
Yeah, those games had wheels on them, though, so it was a little easier. The games you had to move did not.
No.
But yeah, I mean, Betson is a great partner to have when it comes to ordering games, and afterwards. Once you're a client with Betson, they will take care of you with their technical support and parts department as well. So instead of trying to go directly to Unis or ICE or eLoud or any of these companies, you can go through your Betson technical support first, and they will help you get the game up and running to their best of their ability, where you can buy your parts as well from them. And so overall, I can't say enough good things about Betson. I always buy my games through Betson. So thank you guys so much. And if you ever need anything from Betson, all you have to do is email me at clintnovak@gmail.com. I will get you set up with the right people over there to help you guys out with your next game purchases. So that is Betson. Another sponsor of FEC Masterminds Podcast is Rides for You. Len, Earl, the team over there, what an amazing group of people. Once again, worked with them at Funland of Fredericksburg. Not only did we sell our rides through them, because they would sell our used rides, but we also got a great bunch of brand new rides. Well, we got some used rides from them, but we also bought some brand new rides, an SBF spin coaster, which was one of our best rides and attractions at the park. We also got Patriots Plunge, which was a 40-foot drop tower, spinning drop tower, and the Midi Dance 360, which we called the flip side. It's one of those rides that it makes you all sick and everything. All those rides came through Rides for You, which were from the company in Italy called SBF Visa, and they just make it easy. Like we ordered the rides and attractions through them. Shipping comes from Italy, so they deal with all of that, customs, get everything to your park, and then if needed, they have a team that's going to help you construct the ride as well. So Eric, you're the kind of guy who would just build it yourself. Like, it shows up and the next day it's running, right? Yeah.
Unfortunately.
See, I can't. I do the white glove service through them.
Like it.
They show up,
like it.
They unload it, and then come back when it's ready.
They organized everything for you too. You had, the crane, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
It was
Yep, they take care of it. So it's like, you just lay back and watch them put it all together. Best thing is it's also stateside service. So obviously the company's in Italy for those 3 rides and attractions we had. But so if you needed help, first you could call Rides for You, and they would get you in contact with somebody in the U.S. And if they couldn't get it up and running or couldn't help you with your issue, then it would go directly to Italy. And these rides, pretty smart, because they all had like dial-up connections where the guys from Italy could just dial into your ride and be like, "Oh, well, this is what you got to work on here," or this is the issue that's going on. So, the rides were pretty smart. So, definitely check them out. Go to ridesforyou.com. That's rides, the number 4, the letter U.com. You can see their whole catalog of not only used rides, but all the brand new rides. And, every year at IAAPA, biggest booth, it's them, right? Yeah. It has to be them.
Yeah, they've got everything out there.
They always bring like 15 rides, and they're crazy there. Our Patriots Plunge at Funland, or their Patriots Plunge, it was 3 years ago I left. It was on the floor of IAAPA.
Well, our friend Rick Icebergs was there the year before.
Exactly.
His drop tower, they're a lot of people have dealt with them over the years, and
just a great group. I really down to earth. Len is one of those guys where you call him up, he always picks up the cell phone. Always happy to hear from you, even when whatever you have to say might not be fun. It's Saturday, the ride's down. They jump on it and they get it back up and running. So that's ridesforyou.com. All right, we ready to go talk to Brian?
Let's go talk to Brian.
So if you're ever driving across the state of Wisconsin on I-94, going between Chicago and Minneapolis, you're going to drive through a town called Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And in that town, right off of the interstate, you're going to see this massive resort called Metropolis Resorts. And that's where Brian comes from. He's our guest today. Brian has been part of our FEC Masterminds group for several years now. And I've had the pleasure of visiting his location twice in the last 2 years. And I'll tell you what, it is amazing location. Brian, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Clint. And by the way, it's Eau Claire. Just, it's that little French in there.
Eau Claire, not Eau Claire? Let's see, Minnesota, we call it Eau Claire, but no.
I think in Maryland we call it Eclair, so I think God only knows. It's fantastic. Welcome to the show, Brian.
Brian, tell everybody about the resort as it stands now, and then as we get into, well, actually, first, before we even do that, let's talk about you and how you got into the industry, because your background is not, or at least your family's background is not running a big resort.
Correct. It is not. We started in the grocery business. So I actually go way back. My folks started as farmers, but then my grandpa in 1955 sold the farm and thought he'd move to the other end of the chain and bought a grocery store. So we were in the grocery business from 1955 until 2012, not in the same place, but through a lot of that. But I grew up in the grocery business. There's pictures of me. Mom's got, when I was a kid, they were working. They'd put me in a grocery cart. I'm sure it was kid approved and safe and all that. But, in 1965 or something. So I grew up in the grocery business, worked in that all my life until 2012 when I transitioned. Along the way, I got into food service too, restaurants, and we are a side hustle that we've got. I shouldn't say a side hustle, but we currently have 8. My sister and I have 8 Dairy Queen restaurants also, along with the resort. But we were in the grocery business. 2012, we sold our last store, and then I started a digital marketing agency actually for 10 years, just about 10 years in digital marketing business, Facebook and email marketing and LinkedIn and you name it, we did it for a bit. We in the end, we were mostly email and Facebook. That was in the peak times of all that, the wild west of Facebook advertising, when you could target anything and anyone you wanted. Down to the point if I could actually put an ad on your newsfeed that said, "Hi, Clint," or "Hi, Erik," and it'd have your name on it. So that freaked people out a little bit, by the way. Just saying.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So no, we got through there, and my folks started the resort, the Metropolis, in 2006. Actually, I started Action City in 2006, the Fun Center, which that was before anybody in our area had ever heard of a FEC or anything like that. And I was involved a little bit at the startup, and then I didn't get involved again in any depth and probably till 2013. And then from 13 to 21, I did marketing consulting for them, actually, part of the time. They're one of my clients, but and then in 21, I sold the marketing agency, and I do now just Dairy Queen and the Metropolis. So that's how we got there.
It would be interesting to see how many people in the FEC industry own an FEC and a Dairy Queen, because in our FEC Masterminds group, I mean, there's what, 3 or 4 people who own Dairy Queens.
I know.
Like, I feel out of place that I don't have one. So
no, we need to get a Dairy Queen. What's up with that?
If you need, I could set you up with one.
There you go. It's a little bit of a commute, but I'm all right with it. Yeah,
it would be. It would be.
It would be terrible for me because the Dairy Queen chili cheese dogs are like my weakness. Like I can walk by at any time, but chili cheese dogs, man, I love them.
That's awesome. Now, but so you said that your folks started out in 2007, but that was the original portion of what would become Metropolis, correct?
Correct.
So the original concept was to just have what type of attractions?
The original concept was the Fun Center. We built a 55,000 square foot building, and we had go-karts, climbing wall, batting cages, the arcade, laser tag, and bumper cars. I'm just thinking back if I missed anything along the way. We're in there.
Yeah, it seemed like that was the kind of the almost like that was what was in the soup of the FEC startup companies back then, because we started about the same time. I think the original Funland started in down in Virginia, same way, exact same kind of setup. So it seemed to be, if you opened up an FEC in 2005, 2006, that was the soup, that was the mix.
Yep.
So and then where did it go? Where did it go from there, Brian? And how involved were you in, from that point? Because you said you got involved in 2013.
Right. Well, I was involved in 2006, but then when they were getting started, and they were using the grocery store that I owned as the headquarters. That was one that Mom and Dad had been at, so they had the offices there. So we used that for their offices, so I got to sit in and talk a lot about some of the different ideas, and we followed it after that. I had enough other businesses going on that I didn't want to get involved with one more at that particular time for that. So, but from 2000, we opened in November of 2006, and 2005. Yeah, 20 years. Last year was 20 years. So we opened in 2005. Wow. Excuse me. And then in 2000, it was going well. It went so well that they decided that we should go into a motel and water park. So in 2009, we added on a 107-room hotel, and the water park was also built. The hotel opened in 2009, later in the fall, and the water park opened up in the winter of 2009, a few months later.
And to me, that's kind of crazy, because you guys had never been in the hotel industry. And so you guys are just like, oh, we'll just build a hotel. And what kind of learning curve comes with just like, we've never had a water park before. We're going to build that and a hotel.
Well, we had a hotel. Actually, the hotel learning curve wasn't as steep as the water park. And we had a grocery store we had purchased in Iowa years ago, and we converted that from when that grocery store didn't work. And we converted that into a hotel, but it was only 14 or 15 rooms for that. And we had that for several years, but running a resort on the other end was a whole different ballgame. There's a lot of things to learn about all these industries, by the way. Going from the groceries to the fun center, and then the fun center to the hotel, all of that was, there was a steep learning curve. And the steepest is the water park. The water park has a lot more maintenance. There's very secure, you talk about, I talk to you, sometimes you talk about having to be certified on a ropes course. Well, let me tell you, water parks with lifeguards, there's a whole different level of certification there. So, and just everything about it. There's a lot of maintenance. That water there's always heat and humidity in the building. It's all indoor. The water park is indoor. Where we're at, otherwise we only get about 3 months a year. So it's all indoor. And there's just a lot of maintenance with it that goes.
Brian, how many square feet? So you added, you had the fun center to begin with, which had the things you talked about. And then you added the 109 rooms, right? Yep. And then was the water park built at the same time as the hotel?
It was. Okay. It just took longer to get put together.
Gotcha. And so that total expansion, how many what did that take up? How many acres? I mean, what do you guys have land wise?
Yeah, we have land wise of 22 acres, I believe. We bought 25. We sold off 3 to somebody else back years and years ago. And we've got, I believe, 22 acres now. And there was 2 additions after that. So Clint hasn't got there yet. So so the water park's about 35,000 square feet. And then the hotel, I had to figure it out, but I can't remember how many rooms. It's 111 rooms now. We took some space that was a restaurant and made it into hotel rooms, and the restaurant's now in Action City. And so it's all there. It's just not the same. And we've also, our food service, we've grown up to, so since then.
It's amazing. And when did you open up the expansion for the water park and the hotel?
2009 and then early in 2010.
Wow. So it was right out of the gate, man. You guys were open for 4 years and bang, and where you are located, because I'm sure everybody that's listening or watching this podcast knows exactly where the name of the town again is.
Eau Claire.
I'm going to say Eau Claire. Eau Claire. So everybody's heard of Eau Claire because it's such a hot spot. No, so it's like you're out there, man. You're pulling, and Wisconsin is, with the Dells, it's the water park mecca of the United States. Like, it is the spot, for which is bizarre. So let's pick a cold state and put all these water parks in it. But you did it the right way. You did it inside. But what do you find? I mean, because you're competing against some really big players in the industry, right? Yep. And you're also pulling from, you're pulling. So would you attribute the success, I'm sure, to I'm assuming, but to your background in marketing? Or what do you attribute the success of your facility?
Yep. So first of all, I'll place you where we're all at. Clint said, between Minneapolis and Chicago, we're 100 miles just about straight east of Minneapolis, Minnesota. We're 2 hours north of Wisconsin Dells, and we're a small player compared to the Wisconsin Dells people. I mean, we've got 111 rooms. I think the Kalahari has 1,000. The Wilderness is in that range, maybe even a little bit more. Then we've got Great Wolf there. Then there's a Chula Vista, another local one, which has a mere 700 rooms, and they're adding on right now, so they might be up to closer to 900. And the facilities are bigger. We're in the right location. We're, like Clint said, and when we were first shopping for the land, we tried to figure out if it was worth paying what we did for it. But if you come in this area, you're going to go by us. We're right on the interstate. And if I mention anybody that's traveled that road, if I say the Metropolis, they see it. I mean, it's noticeable on the interstate. How's that?
And that's actually pretty smart, because if I grew up in the Twin Cities, we would go to Wisconsin every 3 years or every 5 years. And so, eventually people are going to be saying, well, wait a minute, what's this massive place right here? Why are we driving another 2 hours to go down to Wisconsin Dells?
Yep. And that's been and also I'll place this out there. Our city is about 75,000 people. Which compared to all you folks out east or in some of the other areas, that's pretty small.
Yeah.
And the nearest city of that size or larger is 100 miles away. So the Twin Cities is several million people in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, but La Crosse is, about 75,000, 100 miles away. Wausau is about the same size in that vicinity, and they're about 100 miles away. So we're out by ourselves. So we do draw from a larger area, if that makes sense. And the hotel really helps that part of it, because people come and stay overnight. 2 nights. I think our average stay, the last time I checked, which wasn't that long ago. It was like 1.8 nights. So we have a significant amount of people that stay more than one night. So yeah. And the marketing helps, and the fact that we're between the Dells. If they're going to the Dells, they can stop 2 hours sooner for that. So and if they want to, even a quick getaway, it's round trip on less than a tank of gas. So if you're driving from all those places. So,
but you brought a lot of your marketing know-how, because you got to basically you were paid by other companies to do what you're doing now for yourself, which is great, because you got an opportunity to experience, like you said, like the Wild West of the Facebook days to today. And what do you think that I'm sure that's got to be such a fantastic leg up compared to a lot of facilities. I mean, I would say that our number one thing is that we struggle with is marketing.
And we have that nailed down.
Yeah. And that's beautiful.
And yes, it makes a huge difference. And then we developed a team. We don't have a flag for the hotel world. If you want to speak hotel world, we don't have a flag. We're an independent hotel. Which means that we have to do our own marketing, which we also don't have to, follow any standards from the motel world or anything, they decide they'd like a different color this year, you need to paint everything. Well, we don't have to do that. But we do have to do all the marketing. So, everything that we do to get any business, we do ourselves. So yes, we have an internal marketing team. And we started with one, and now we combined sales and marketing last year because of some other things. But I think between sales and marketing, we have 7 people.
Wow.
Maybe 8. So, yeah, it's a significant investment. How's that? We don't have a franchise fee for the hotel. Seriously. We've done the math, and actually it works out better to do what we do. So,
because you're able to target exactly what you want to target, rather than being dictated to by a larger entity that you got to do exactly what we want you to do. That's fantastic.
So let's fast forward and complete all of the additions and everything. So where are we today with Metropolis? Before, I say today, but again, you guys are in the middle of another expansion, so we'll get to that in a minute. But open, what do you guys have today?
So today in 2017, November of 2017, we seem to like that time, but the way the weather flow around here works, you start in the spring and it takes till about then to get something built. So November of 2017 or early December, we opened a trampoline park. We added a 30,000 square foot addition and put the trampoline park on the resort. So we had 85,000. Currently, we have 85,000 under roof. We added a Soaring Eagle zip line. We have an outdoor outdoor go-kart track, and then we have mini golf. The mini golf, we started that back in 2007 or 6. We did that early on. The outdoor track, we had an original one that was a slick track. We replaced it with more of a conventional figure 8 type of go-kart track, and the Soaring Eagle got added in 2017 also for that. So that's where we're at there. And then inside we've got a sit-down restaurant, which we moved the restaurant from the hotel into Action City, more of a sports bar kind of feel. We've got a pizza restaurant. We've got a Caribou Coffee. For those of you in the area, it's probably serving Caribou Coffee, so we're using their license, but we're not a franchise. And we have a Dairy Queen. You can mention that. We do have a Dairy Queen inside the resort. That is a franchise. So for that. So that's all there now. So that's where we're at now. And then there's a big building being built outside that's being added on. Another 55,000 square feet is going up right now, scheduled to be open or completed by, I was told October 28th, and we're still hitting that schedule. So it's some weeks it's a little tight for them, but they get it all done. So we're still on pace for October 28th. And in there we've got there's 50,000 on the ground, and there's a mezzanine that's got another 5,700 square feet, I think it was. The 5,700 is all offices and admin kind of stuff. Right now we're scattered all over from, we've had people in the basement of the hotel, and we've got people, and they're just tucked away in every spot we could find, because again, it's grown way more than we expected when we built it.
Our
stick them out there. Yeah, he was
make them take their stapler and go into the basement.
Yep. Yeah. Well, he was in a bathroom. It's in a
Stapler.
bathroom. Had been remodeled. He had this little cubicle building. He's running.
I'm taking my stapler. I'm taking my stapler.
Yep. On the main floor, we have our original track yet. We're replacing that with a new track, a go-kart track. We're putting in a drop tower, spin coaster, indoor mini golf, all in the new area. And then back where go-karts are now is going to be 15 lanes of bowling, and then a new laser tag arena is being built there. And then where our old laser tag arena is, there will be party rooms, and then we're going to make the arcade bigger back through that area. So that's a 3-part process. Yeah.
Wow, you guys hit the ground running and just didn't stop. This is fantastic. And the interesting thing is, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about this, and I don't know if Clint. In my mind, I'm thinking about the ups and downs that we experience, because our businesses were, with Virginia being so close to DC, and with my part being so close to DC, we feel the economic impact immediately when things kind of ebb and flow with the economy. You guys, I think, are more isolated and insulated from that. Those initial that boom, you hit it, because in 2009. We weren't thinking about expanding, and you guys are expanding. What an amazing thing. And I mean, and you're continuing to rock and roll through COVID, through all of this, and you're moving and you're continuing to grow, which is bravo, man.
The 2009 thing, we planned it and had it all started, so it was almost done when all the crap hit in 2009. That was not a time I'd recommend opening a hotel. Just saying. But when it's built, it's like, are you going to open? Or are you going to leave it sit there empty?
Right.
I'm like, might as well open it and do something.
Yeah, might as well. Let's do something with it.
Let's do something with it. So yes, that's how that ended up happening. We are more insulated. We don't get the booms and the bust. It's more of a steady pace. But 2009 still had some challenges. How's that? And we hadn't had time to build up. We didn't have. I'm going to say much of an email list. We didn't have much of a marketing base because we had just opened when all this was hitting, and we did what we could, but starting from nothing is a lot harder than starting from where we are now.
Yeah.
So what made you guys decide to, I guess, triple down now and expand on the FEC side to the extent in which you guys are doing? It's not just one attraction. You guys are going all out with several attractions over the next, year or so.
Right. We saw the opportunity there. We've got a chance. So, my dad likes to build things. So, and he's still building things. He's 82 now. So, and he's having a ball doing all of this, but we saw an opportunity there. And we spent quite a while researching it before we did it. This thing's been an active process for 2 years. But before that, it was what do you think? And maybe we could do this. And we started researching what we were missing and if the market was there to make it work for it, just because of the population size. But it still looks solid. Everything looks good. So we decided to just go. You find out when you build it.
Yeah, exactly. When you build it, will they come? Yeah.
Will they come? They will. It's just a matter of how many of them come, but they'll be there.
So with 75,000 people in your local market, and your closest city being another 75,000, and then when you get into the million plus, you've got to go 100 miles. What do you find that is your typical guest just Joey Bag of Donuts coming to your facility, or is it do you do a lot of groups? I mean, what do you find the mix to be? I mean, obviously these are people that are going there. You're a destination. Yep. You're not necessarily just hey, we're going to go grab some groceries. Maybe I'll go get grocery shopping and then drop the kids off, or what have you. You're not in a mall or things like that.
Right. Nope, we're not in a mall. We look at it. We have 3 different levels of guests. We have our local guests, which would come in maybe for an hour and a half, rainy afternoon. They'll come in, they'll buy individual rides or a smaller package and play. Then we've got the people that come from day trips and they might drive down from Minneapolis and St. Paul. Again, we only have 111 rooms. When they're gone, they're gone. So we'll have a lot of times guests from Minneapolis drive down just for the day, or the surrounding area. In our part of the world, driving 60 miles, there's a town, Rice Lake, that's about 60 miles away that it's only at 5,000, but we get a significant amount of traffic from that. And it's an hour drive, so it's not like 60 miles through some of your traffic. Go to Washington, D.C. and drive 60 miles. It could take you half a day. We drive 60 miles in an hour.
Yeah.
So there's
you need
the geographic spread out.
It's a day and then 2 days in therapy afterwards.
Yep.
So right.
Yep. Because as I said, we're a lot less stressed when we get there.
Yeah.
And then we've got the hotel guests. And the hotel guests, when they come in, our normal routine for a hotel guest is someone comes in, they check into the hotel, they go to the water park, they'll spend the first night at the water park, then they'll check out the rest of the resort, they'll check out Action City and what's available. Then the next day they get up and they buy Action City passes, and then they play in Action City and the water park and back and forth. But a lot of times, especially in the winter, you'll have people come in, they take their coats off, put on their shorts and their flip-flops, and they don't leave the resort until they leave on, Sunday when they check out. So
that's wonderful.
Yep. That's what we want to have happen.
So you're just basically giving them more. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Good. No, I'm just saying, go ahead.
You're just, all you're doing is you're adding on the space. So are you thinking that you're going to draw more out of because you said you have 111 rooms. So are you thinking that, okay, by adding these particular attractions, we're going to increase revenue by drawing out of the existing people that are coming? Or are you guys, is there a hotel expansion in the future?
Well, there is a hotel expansion in the future, but we got to get this one up and running first. So we have a plan for a hotel and a bigger water park would be the next step. We started with the Action City, built the hotel and water park, and then made it bigger. Well, now we're looking at our next one would be a bigger hotel, and then we can get about 150 more rooms in, then a bigger water park also. So but that's a few years away. That's not like this isn't a very preliminary part of what we're doing. We got to get this going.
Yeah. Hey, people, next year.
Yeah, no.
So, there's obviously FEC owners out there listening to this who have probably thought about the idea of adding a hotel. I only have 3,000 square feet in a mall, so I'm not adding a hotel. But Erik, have you ever thought about adding? Indoor water park. We've been talking about.
We've been talking about that. Yeah, we've been talking about that. My father's idea was your father and my father are probably cut from the same cloth. The difference was that we hit some really hard times in 7, 8, and 9. We're just awful, and it's just So we're not quite where you're at, but the idea of an indoor water park with a hotel would be absolutely epic. You said that the learning curve on the hotel was pretty, you were like, man, that was pretty simple comparatively to the water park. No, but what would you say would be the biggest hurdle of putting in a hotel in your facility?
The challenge so the water park, the way our world is set up, and people think about water park in Wisconsin together, when we close the water park, so about 1 weekend a year, the water park ends up being closed for maintenance. There's just stuff we have to drain the pools, and if you're painting the pools, obviously you have to drain them, and so you're closed for 1 weekend. And our traffic for the hotel drops off significantly when we do that. So the water park is the item that attracts people. So I want to talk marketing speak. That's your lead magnet, or that's your entry point offer. They come for the water park, and then they stay for all the rest of the resort. Even just advertising the fun center does not get people excited. They have a great time when they get there, but we have not figured out a way to run ads that makes the fun center, draws people to the fun center to stay in a hotel. If that makes sense.
So you've kind of you guys have hung your hat on the water park and side of things. Would you say that would be the thing that kind of jettisoned you to the position that you're at right now, based upon, because you started off with Action City, which was, an FEC. Yep. Yep. So when you added the water park, you would say that actually gave you kind of the boost in the tank to get you to where you are today?
It did. The thing that actually made the biggest boost was the trampoline park, to tell you the truth.
Really?
The trampoline park, when we built that in 2017, was a game changer for the whole resort. For that. Yep.
That's incredible.
They're not that hard to run. The insurance on them is a challenge, but once you have that part, but the actual, just because of the numbers that came, it brought a whole different group of people into the resort. But then they may not have come to play games, or they were there on the trampoline park, they would play games, or they would ride go-karts. It spun everything up. It brought us to a whole new level.
That's amazing.
Yep.
So you were saying that, when people are booking at the hotel, they're booking for the water park. why not do the water park expansion and hotel expansion first rather than going and expanding the FEC?
Yeah,
that was a flip of the coin. There's the margins in Action City at the Fun Center are much better than the hotel. The hotel is fine, but again, we're not a flag, so our gap and what we're working hard to fix is how do you fill Sunday night through Thursday when kids are in school. So there's a lot of weeks a year. I've got a hotel that I could make you a heck of a deal on. If you want to have a party and fill up 110 rooms, and we have banquets. I mean, we have catering. We have catering, and
this sounds like an FEC Masterminds meetup in person right here, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. This is good stuff.
So
I like
it. And we're working on building a sales team on that. That's part of the sales team is why they're a little bigger. We're working on. We did more of that kind of events before COVID. And then during COVID, obviously all that shut down. Then after COVID, we were so busy with leisure, we didn't worry about it. And then about 2 years ago, we started thinking, well, maybe we should get serious about selling groups again. And we have, but we haven't figured out, and we are selling a lot more, but we still haven't got that nailed down yet. So
we need to talk.
Yeah.
Well, and this is another thing about Brian. We've known each other for, I would say, 5-6 years now. Yeah. And, every event I go to, whether it's a summit or a 360 or, IAPA, there's a 80% chance I'm running into Brian there. You have this great place, this great facility, but one thing that you never stop doing is educating yourself. Even like I'll get a text message from Brian. I'm in Austin, Texas. I need 5 locations to visit. Go, So it's like, you never know, where Brian is and what he wants to do, but he's always visiting locations and always educating.
Yep. And Clint, by the way, usually can answer that question. So almost no matter where I send it from,
but
country, you can help me with that.
Yeah, Brian, but there is one question that maybe you could help me answer. And I had a friend of mine ask me today, and they said, I was telling them I was doing a podcast with you and obviously with Clint, and they said, what does Clint do?
I've got discussion going on. I'm still trying to figure it out, but it's great. I get to hang out with him and see him from time to time.
Oh man. Yeah, well, so yeah, Brian, I've visited Brian twice and he still doesn't know what I do. So
nobody knows what you do, buddy. Nobody. It's the great mystery. Yes, the ninth mystery of the world.
It's hard to explain to somebody who has a full resort what I do. But when you go to an FEC that they need help, that's when I really shine. So. Okay, maybe out of all the stuff that you've done, Brian, what's a nugget that you've gotten from me that you're proud of? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you tried that you weren't proud of, but it's something you want.
Wait. Did you buy? Hey, Brian, if you say you bought a donut cart, I'm gonna fall out of my chair.
He mentioned that. I thought I know someone that's got one. I know he's got that cart, but. We're closer to Minnesota, so that whole funnel cake
donut cart might actually work.
But yeah, no, we're not putting a donut cart in for that. Let's see. We revamped our pricing from Clint's perspective a couple of years ago from his input on that. So that's been good with that. I've got an idea for the cut to win, but we've got we have an electric scooter, not the bike in the cut to win, but the scooter's put together and for that, so we'll see how that goes. That just happened late last week, early this week, I think, is when it went in. So
now I have to give. I mean, my staff came up with that one, so that one. But I just regurgitated and gave it to you. So
you gave it to me, so that's what matters. So
exactly.
I met Erik through Clint, so that was something. So
yeah,
a few years ago. So
yeah,
lots of good stuff comes from Clint.
The last year. Was it last November? The three of us went to Disney for the day.
Yeah,
it's because we were supposed to do an FEC Masterminds meetup in person, and we had like 10 people. And then as we got the week of IAPA, they're like, "Oh, I got
the three
Chris
amigos.
Camp was like, I gotta build my mini bowling is showing up, and and this and that, and then all of a sudden it's just the three of us. I'm like, well, we could sit in a room for 8 hours if we really wanted to, or I could get into Disney for the day. So that was a good day. That was fun.
Yeah,
that was a good
quiet
day.
Men. Three very quiet, shy men. having a hard time finding things to talk about.
I always say, what is the call? The FEC Masterminds call when people ask us what we're doing. I said, saving the world. Every week,
exactly.
every week we're trying to save all. Come up with solutions to all the bad ideas, and then the following month we have to do it again. So
that's right. Just got to circle back and make it happen, man.
2 issues have showed up in the last month.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Well, this is amazing. Brian, can't wait to get out to see your facility. I'm going to be coming out this fall and going to be RVing out that way. And so I know you're an avid RVer too. So I can't hopefully we'll be able to coordinate so I can get a chance to see you guys and meet the family and everything like that. But I would love to see the facility, man. You guys have done so much. And it's just exciting to see something like that, a family business that's continuing to grow, that's continuing to thrive in the ups and downs. And it's like, man, if you want to know about marketing, you got to follow what this guy does, because, man, you just watch, just follow Metropolis's marketing and then just copy it. It's just great because it just works.
It does. You just have to figure out what we're doing behind the scenes, but that's
I know.
okay. You try and figure that out. So,
yeah, right.
But,
well, and so Brian, for like advice for other operators, what would you say is, the best way to, either save money or make money at their facility? Because again, you visit a lot of locations, and so you see what they're doing. Is it, building a hotel? Is it adding the trampoline park? Is it just better marketing and sales? What would you recommend to the people listening?
Well, the first thing I'll tell you, if you're the owner and you're doing marketing, you're not going to succeed with your marketing. Just let you know, I don't do my marketing, and people paid me to do marketing, and I don't do my own. Even in the marketing company, I didn't do my own marketing, because that's and every time an owner told me that hired me to help them, I'm like, cool. If you're going to continue doing that, you're not going to have success. Not as much success as you could otherwise. There's too many other things that distract you from that. Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing that came to mind with that. Don't do your own marketing. After that, there are so many things, and some of it I did not consider. We get store blind or FEC blind to your facility. We're adding on. If you want to make major investments, that's always a possibility. But there's a lot of things you can do in your facility that you never considered. Everything from upgrading 2 years ago, we upgraded the go-karts. That's the many go-karts, just a few couple $100,000, or more than that, actually. But making investments back in your facility, looking at what's happening in your facility, if you want to look at that kind of thing. The other thing that makes a huge difference is the experience your guests have when they come. Are you watching that? I mean, if you always go in the back door and don't ever walk in your front door, but then how are people greeted? What's happening there? Do they feel welcome and they want to hang out and stay there, or is it they feel like they're rushed and have to leave? So what kind of guest experience are you giving for your guests? That's going to make your longest, I'm going to say your best investment, but it's really hard to say, that you can make an investment in that. You can in your training for that. But again, that all takes money that you're like, well, I could buy something else. I'm like, yes, you could, or you could have a better team for that. A few years ago, we decided to invest in our team more, and we always did, but we invest even more now than we did back then. And it shows in the results and the experience that people have when they're there. And then, yes, if you really want to go all out, and I was thinking about that as I was leaving, it was in the last few months, we've been talking about just in the FEC Mastermind some questions. And then I'm looking at going, well, there's almost nobody here from the public, but we have 111 rooms, which means in our rooms we hold, our biggest room sleeps 20, but we have a lot of rooms that sleep 8 to 10 people in them. And so, I mean, we have 400 plus people in the resort playing at the fun center, even though nobody locally is, or very few locally are coming. So, I mean, that gives us a whole different realm, I guess, of possibility.
Wow. One other thing I wanted to bring up before we let you go is you guys do something different when it comes to redemption that a lot of other people have never jumped on. And from probably the advice of industry experts, say stray away from. But you guys actually not only, like, your redemption counter is more like a gift shop, When you walk in, it's like a resort gift shop, and everything is for sale, whether you use tickets or cash. All right.
Yeah, that is right. And they all all the people that comes from our retail background. So we want to give you money, you take their money, no matter you figure out how to get their money. So if your kid is screaming and they want a stuffed prize and they've only got half the tickets, they can buy it with cash if they want. Or if they got no tickets, you can still buy it with cash and take it with you. So yes, we do that, and we sell everything in there, from all the typical redemption stuff to Metropolis shirts, sweatshirts, hats. Yeti mugs, or they're not Yeti, I guess, but Yukon Gold mugs. But we have a wide variety, and we have a team that does a really good job with that. And again, that's different than the grocery store. In the grocery business, you bought it from your wholesaler, showed up twice a week. Well, this is more like specialty retail, where you're going to the Vegas show or the show in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, or that. In addition to IAPA, we have people at IAPA all the time. So, and we're developing the people. We have. At IAPA, most years we have somewhere between 4 and 8 people that go down besides me. So for that, so they all come back with a whole list of things that are on what they're looking to work on. So
what out of all the educational stuff that you've gone to, whether it's FEC Summit, IAPA Expo, Vegas show, wherever, what are some of the ones that stick out in your mind is the shows or the educational seminars that people should go to?
Sure. The IAPA, obviously, that's a no-brainer. That's still the biggest show, and I've been there now the last 8 years. I think I've been, except for, well, obviously for 20, but I've been there for every year that's been on since, I think, 2017. The FEC Summit is a good one if you're an FEC owner. That's been fun. Clint told me about it originally, and I went. I've been there 3 years now. I think I've been to one. Not this one, but the time before, we were snowed in New Orleans. That was that was an adventure. The 11 inches of snow in New Orleans. But yeah, so those two are our top ones. Amusement 360 I've been to, and we go to for that. So there's those. But then I go to ones outside of the industry. We were at Bowling Expo down in Nashville this year. But then we'll also go to marketing ones. There's marketing ones out there that we've gone to. We try to attend one of those every year too, because again, things change so fast in the marketing world. So we're at marketing conferences to keep up with what's going on with that. I'm not a fan of hiring an outside agency. I'd rather develop my own, but again, I have the skill to do that. For that, and the experience. I mean, you can learn it in an afternoon or in a couple of weeks, but it's the actual 10 years of doing it and people paying you money to do it that makes the difference. If it's not working for them, you don't have that client anymore. If it's working for them, you have them for a long time, but it's pretty easy.
And not to do that for yourself.
You don't have to do that for yourself. Yes.
All right, Brian. Well, thank you so much for spending the time telling us about yourself, the resort, and you're obviously bigger than most of us out in the industry. But I always say, again, we're part of the same Masterminds group. Whether you're 3,000 square feet or 300 or 300,000 or whatever you are, it's you all have the same problems. We all have the same issues. And it's always great to get together and hatch out all those issues, saving the world. It's great to just get together and save the world. So
right, that's right. And by the way, so back to the whole thing with the resorts, we brought our marketing team to. Some of them went to Amusement 360 this last spring, or it was in last year. There's another group that went last year, but they come back with ideas of how to market the FEC for the local traffic, because the local traffic is still a key part of our business. So they had never thought about marketing that differently than the whole resort. So there's just so many layers of different things, and that's why having more than one person involved in that is very important.
Good deal. Well, thank you so much, Brian.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate you.
Well, I think this was a pretty successful episode. We went from the complaint department
to complaints
to complaints to complaining. And then we went to Brian. Brian is Mr. Wonderful there. Damn, I mean, that guy's just fantastic. And I'm envious that you've been out there. I'm looking forward to getting out there this fall. Fantastic guy. And he's just, my God, it's just a wealth of knowledge. And what the guy, like you said,
he's everywhere. Like he's out there. He's visiting other parks. He's learning. He's constantly educating himself. He's not assuming that he knows everything in the industry. He doesn't have everything dialed in, but he knows what he knows, and what he knows very well.
And it's so funny because we have this. I know we talk about it all the time. The FEC Masterminds group that we have. That's not this podcast.
Have you mentioned that
group? Yeah, it's. I'm mentioning it right now.
We're keeping it kind of quiet. That was supposed to be a hidden secret.
But like Brian is a part of this group, and we have something called a hot seat. So basically, every month we get together. It's an hour call. The first half hour, 15 minutes is us just talking about ups or downs. Where are we right now? And then we have 2 hot seats where a facility can sit down and they have 15 minutes to either tell us what their issue is and then get advice, or go over whatever problems they're having or whatever, and then everybody pitches in to try to help them resolve that problem. Mm-hmm. And Brian is one of those guys that every week he would do the hot seat. Like every week he's like, I will bring a new problem to the table because he wants that advice. He wants all of that input from everybody in the group. And so it is really, really amazing. And the group is such a great group of people. If you're interested in joining the FEC Masterminds group, you can go to NovakAmusementSolutions.com and check out the Novak Network. It will tell you basically everybody who's in the group, all the parks that are in the group, and give you a chance to sign up if you'd like to join us in solving the world's problems right there.
1 month at a time. Here we are.
1 month at a time.
That's exactly right.
All right.
We need like super. I was thinking we need to have like a. I was when I got on the show with you today, I was thinking in the back of my mind, I was like, we need to have like a uniform. Like you and I need to have like a uniform. And then you come on and the last.
I thought we made it all the way through the show without you mentioning the shirt, and then right at the outro, you mentioned the shirt.
Last week, God, and then this week, are you kidding me? Get out of here, Mr. Jurassic Park
shirt. My Jurassic Park shirt.
Oh my!
This is the first one I got. I found this at a Buc-ee's in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Oh, I have no doubt that you found that at a gas station.
Oh my God! Have you ever been to a Buc-ee's? Have you ever been to a Buc-ee's?
$5 says that thing was on the discount rack.
No, this was $75.
Oh my
sir.
God.
$75.
That's like styling. That's like one of those canvases that you see up on the wall, and people are like, "Yeah, I paid $7 million for that thing," and it looked like something my dog could paint. So
just
it's fantastic. Just if I ever bring up,
is what it is.
Listen, if I ever bring up the idea of us having like uniforms again, just bring that shirt up.
This is it right here.
Yeah, bring that shirt up.
This is going to be it.
You'll see me in that.
Thank you guys so much for listening to the FEC Masterminds podcast. Once again, thanks to our sponsors, which is Rides for You and Betson. If you need rides or games, they're the guys to talk to. And they're the ones who keep the Novak Road Show going, so I can visit locations free of charge. So thank you guys so much to them and for keeping this podcast going. So we got in trouble. I forgot to say this at the beginning of the show. We got in trouble because we didn't do a show last week, and Monday morning, because I put the shows out 5 a.m. on Mondays. It's just so like if you're commuting or whatever, you got the show, and like by 7 o'clock, I had an email from Sam, and he was like, "Show?
Where's the show?
Question mark? Where's the show?" And I'm like, "Okay, hold up here. Me and Eric, we're busy.
Yeah.
We're running facilities and running companies and all that stuff, and but it made me feel really good that we got that email, because that tells me that people are aware and know and listen and are getting something out of it. And the fact that he knew by 7 a.m. on Monday that the show wasn't up yet, he was like, "What's going on?" So it's like we're 12 episodes in and we already got a following. So I love it.
I love it. Following of one, we appreciate you. But
hey, Brian said he listened to the show.
I know. Hey, I had a friend of mine the other day that was just like, hey, and he sells air conditioning, and he's like, "Man, I've listened to like 6 of your podcasts. These things are great. I'm really enjoying it." I know he wanted to sell me an air conditioning unit, but
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching to the FEC Masterminds podcast. Clint and Erik, we'll see you guys on the next adventure. Bye.
Bye, guys.